Hey there guys, it's Salis, and I gotta ask the question. Are video games art? Stupid question. Of course they are. Okay, editorial over. See ya! No. You should all be more aware of how I work by now. So the issue I want to address is more along the lines of, since video games are art, why they're not treated the same way. Throughout the course of human history, art has taken many different forms, from literature and the written word to performative arts, painting, sketching, etching, pottery, poetry, music and dance, and many more. But with advances in technology, a lot more of these art forms have evolved. The written word stands, but it's evolved into such things as screenwriting for TV and movies, which are themselves an evolution of stage acts. I don't need to list how many Shakespeare have been adapted for the screen by now. I'd be here all week if I tried. And image art has evolved into digital painting, drawing, animation, all with the aid of technology such as laser mice, graphic tablets and touchscreens and various other innovative devices. But all of these arts are still treated as if they were 18th century frescoes and respected as high art. And on that note, allow me to explain the term I just used. High art is considered to be the most respected form of art, and it stands in opposition to pop art, short for popular art. And over the years and centuries and decades and whatever you want to use, many works have crossed this barrier. For example, in his time, Shakespeare's plays were considered pop art, appealing more to the common man than the upper aristocracy. And as such, audience would heckle, throw shit at the actors, and regularly just straight up fuck in the theatre. But these days, the works of the bard are treated with utmost reverence. So perhaps it means for video games this is only a matter of time. But as it stands, at least at the moment, all other forms of art get to live on for eternity, whereas video games are just deleted every couple of months. Not that they don't exist, but that the companies responsible can't benefit from consumer support. In other words, they don't make no money no more. The point I'm trying to hint at here is that I can walk into a bookstore and pick up a brand new copy of George Orwell's 1984, written in 1948. But I can't go into a game store and buy a new copy of a game from 1984. Obviously, there are some caveats to apply, such as there have been many medium transfers, like from cartridges to CDs, then DVDs, and these days Blu-ray discs. But we live in an age of digital downloads, so these can easily be added to a company's digital storefront, be it on PSN, or Xbox Live, Steam, Uplay, whatever the fuck it is. But the problem is, companies are so hell-bent on deleting their history, they actively prevent the new models of their systems, PC withstanding. They make them unable to play the games from past generations. I would love to be able to jam Spyro 3 into my PS4 and play it, but Sony just said no. And yes, I know that a lot of older systems, games, can be played on PC via emulation, but I'll discuss that in a later editorial. I promise I will. I promise I'll get round to that one. Because, to be honest with you, I could rant about that for days. And it's this denial of the history of this art form that I think prevents it from being respected as such. When you break a video game down to its component elements, there is no excuse for not considering it art. It has aspects of the written word in the form of its script and story. After all, a game is pretty much bare bones or a rhythm game without a decent story, at least for me anyway. And a story always needs a script, hence it needs writers. Image art, I think, is fucking obvious even to a man with no eyes. Performance art for voice acting, obviously, and also for the mocap actors who work a lot with the animation team. And you can even argue it has performance art aspect in its animation itself. Music is another no-brainer. I mean, rhythm games are an entire fucking genre now. So why is it when all of these art forms are combined, it's no longer art? I've heard a lot of arguments that it's because it's interactive, and thus is not art. But if any of you have ever played a Quantic Dream game, you'll know that's bullshit. But what really undermines this argument is stand-up comedy. Many comics these days work with the audience. Ross Noble is a particular favourite of mine, and that's exactly what he does. People are encouraged to heckle, and it all adds to the act. And if that's not enough, have you ever been at a magic show and heard the phrase, "I need a volunteer from the audience"? How is that not interaction? Personally, I think the world needs to learn that art takes many forms and has evolved a lot since man first took soot to cave wall. Perhaps it just takes time and maybe 4 or 5 decades just isn't enough. Maybe. But I think society needs to catch up with the technology that it relies on so much, otherwise we're going to end up in situations far worse than this argument. But I want to know what you guys think. Are video games art? And since they are art, why do you think they're not handled as if they are? Very keen to know about this, so let me know in the comments down below, and until our next discussion, I've been Salis. I believe video games can't be anything but art, and I will see you next time.